Warning: the following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on the show are reflective of AJ Orsini and his guests exclusively. But seriously, guys, the show's called Uncensored. If you got a problem with bad language, I really don't give a shit.
Wish you new happy year, motherfuckers.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
How the hell is everybody out there? This is your boy, your main man, your Jap soul brother from another mother. This is your host of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. This is AJ Orsini, and I've got to tell you, folks, it feels good. It feels good. This is the second episode in the new House of O. This is episode 69. To bring in the woman of my life, my lover, my 69 partner. My partner, her face is lit up like a Christmas tree. Of course, I'm here again with Mrs. O. Mrs. O, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you.
That was very nighttime radio what you just did right now. Why, thank you.
But them balls, though.
Oh, yes. Tell them about the smoky balls.
Smoky balls with a side of white sauce.
White sauce, specifically white.
It's what we need today for episode 69.
Yeah, I know. You were talking about
sauce.
smoked balls before you even realized it was episode 69, so now it really fits. And by really fit, I mean like it really fits.
Does
like
the balls fit in your mouth perfectly?
Not in my mouth, no. Not in this host's mouth. There's a lot of balls in mouth in this industry, but not in this. This is a dick-free zone. Ball-free zone, too. Dick and ball-free. No Franken beans on this plate. No, sir. Except for the ones that I'm already providing, of course. But this is episode 69, and we have much to discuss. We are here in the brand new House of O, and Mrs. O, our hell is finally over. We're out of the old apartment and into the new. You feeling any better about this transition? I did a whole episode on the move last week, essentially almost a whole episode. It was like a 25-minute rant on the whole situation with the truck and the key.
Moving sucks balls.
Not smoked balls, though.
No, not smoked balls.
Not
just sucks ass, sucks balls, sucks everything.
We had a bit of a trial.
Not in the mood for 69 with moving.
And you haven't been cursed out by cunt bitch yet. I nicknamed her cunt bitch last week, Miss Irene. You met her today, actually. Or you got a chance to speak with her today.
I did, and the only person
Why
she
are
had
you
to...
speaking like that? Talk to you. Are you going to be in a consistent whisper this entire time?
I didn't realize I was whispering.
Because you know why? Because you just put him to bed. That's why you're whispering.
No. Because I hear myself perfectly fine in these headphones. It doesn't sound like I'm whispering.
Well, it does to me. It sounds like you're withholding some energy there. You need to let loose.
We can't withhold on episode 69.
There you go. You got to give it all you've got. From the cervix wall all the way out. You got to give everything you can here. So you haven't had a chance to be cursed out by cunt bitch yet.
No, in fact, I saw cunt bitch, and she just cursed out Con Ed, saying they're liars.
Oh, yeah, she's cursing everybody out. She doesn't care. She has zero fucks given at all fucking times. So are you feeling any better about this apartment? You're the other person that lives here. So I already displayed my my love and joy of the new apartment thus far. We have to unbox, though.
Yes.
I think it'll feel cozier once we get rid of all the boxes.
It's just, I feel like once I unbox, I'm already thinking about boxing. It's like I'm
boxing.
It's like I'm unboxing the house, and as I'm unboxing it, I'm like, this section I can box up, and this section I can box up again. So it's like I'm unpacking, thinking about how to pack it next time.
I'm having a hard time finding how did we have all of this shit in that old apartment?
I don't know.
We Tetrised our entire life into that old apartment. dude, we're like 5 minutes in, baby. I gotta catch her while catch her while she's good. So yeah, I did a whole thing on the whole. This table is also. By the way, I said last week that we were getting a new couch and a new dining set for the new apartment. Update, folks. The dining set is here and it is awesome. My couch is not here. Now, since you were the person that laid the deal here down, correct me if I'm wrong, but what took place is they delivered a couch. Now, we ordered a black leather couch with a pull-out, with a mattress. They delivered the mattress. They delivered a couch. But the couch was not a sleeper for the mattress. Is that part correct?
That part's correct.
Right. So they brought in the couch only to find out that it was the wrong couch. Then they took the couch out. They took it away from us, including the mattress.
And the mattress cover.
And the mattress cover, right, because it's a nice memory foam. We stepped up our sleepover game. So for anybody who's listening, who's had the invitation stretched out to them before, this is the one to jump on right here.
And you know what caught me off guard?
What's that?
Is that they came inside, screwed on the bottom pieces. Then when they had to flip it over, they had to unscrew it. And then my ass was in wonderment as they unzipped the bottom of the couch to put the 4 pieces inside of it. I was like, holy shit, the storage compartment.
Not lose the pieces.
Oh my God.
That was great.
I was like, does that happen to all of them now? Is this
New
with
age
all couches?
We were stunned when we went to Bob's Discount Furniture. We were stunned because we always talked about getting me a grandpa chair. And the grandpa chair essentially is just a big recliner.
Oh my God, they have USB now.
All of the recliners have USB. Like the way that they pitched it was, you could charge your phone now. It's like my grandpa never had to charge his phone in his chair.
And I was this
And
close.
you can do push button and you can do handle. There's multiple variations now of a grandpa chair. I almost don't want one now. They're too futuristic. I'm like, that kind of ruins the whole grandpa thing.
Does it make you feel like you're in that chair from WALL-E, where all the fat people were in those chairs just floating around?
It does. It kind of does, because they're big and fluffy and comfortable, and it leaves room for an ever-expanded... Like, I'm not exactly a skinny guy.
No.
I'm short, and I have a... Okay, we get it. It's a no. We understand. And then... and I had room, like a person fatter than me, like 2 me's could have fit in that recliner chair. And I was like, that's not good.
That's not safe.
No, it's not.
Because if a fat person ever wore jeans that are bigger than them, they're like, ooh, I have room to fill in. Instead of, maybe I should buy smaller pants.
I've got all this room. No need to turn down those Baconators now.
Exactly.
Oh, man. So, listen, as you know from being on the show before in the past, we do a lot of discussion here on the show when it comes to the world of pro wrestling. But before we do, there was something else I wanted to talk to you about because you had plenty to fucking say about it before. So I want to see if you've got anything left in the tank for the actual show now. When we were going over the Netflix shows, I talked a little bit on the podcast because this is at a time where you were supposed to do it with me, and then you just kind of fell asleep or something. These jingle jangles of, by the way, the bottles that you're hearing in the background is a collection of many assorted foreign beers that we tried the other night with a good friend.
Well, I wouldn't say they're all foreign. Some are domestic.
Some are domestic?
Yes. But a few that we were not happy with, folks. Monty Python's
It's supposed to be Grail, but they crossed out. Yeah.
But they crossed out the GR
So
for ale.
Ale. Get it?
Now, that was pretty shit. And I thought, holy shit, it tastes like shit.
Yes.
But
It was holy ass, not ale.
What surpassed that
Nut Brown,
was
baby.
Nut Brown
Ale,
made
boy.
by the Messiah himself, by He Brew.
He apostrophe brew.
Okay? And
That's got to be a joke.
What I should have known from the beginning is when it has a description, when
It's
it
usually like a
tries to
joke.
be funny on the label, then you know the inside's crap. Okay, but if there's no sentence explaining what it's about, then it needs no explanation, and it's letting you
Holy
know
shit. I'm
this
looking at
is
the order
some
now and
good
you're
shit.
right.
So I should have
The
known
funny ones are all down
that
there.
the moment it fluffed me up with all this Messiah has been
fluff.
picked from God Himself, and it it
You were so enamored with yourself.
brain
you-
fart. No, it quoted scripture and
that one did,
psalms
yes.
and everything. I should have known it was shit.
Yeah,
Like,
we ordered, even though we got super drunk, we ordered the beer by favorite to least favorite. Like as the course of the evening was going
Mm-hmm. And Not
on,
Your Mama's Iced
we
Tea
would finish a
was
beer and
horrible,
then
too. Mm-hmm.
debate where on the line it goes. And for some reason, Not Your Mama's Iced Tea, I'm going to say for some reason. I say for some reason because I don't know how the fuck it got in this house.
It was shit.
But Not Your Mama's Iced Tea is exactly that. That's why it was trash, because it wasn't my mom's iced tea. This iced tea was garbage.
Yeah.
Monty Python's Holy Ass, we already discussed. Nut Brown Ale, baby. Should have been higher on the list. That was good. I just got outvoted. That's why it was down there.
No.
And then we got Hopback Amber Ale.
It was too hoppy.
Truckies. It was too hoppy.
Yeah.
The very sentence a beer snob would say. Hold on, what's this? Lagunta's Little Something.
It was too flowery.
It was trash, is what it was.
And that's why you thought it was trash, because it had.
Actually, I'm sorry. I was
it
the only
too
one that
flowery.
liked that one. Remember, you and Mr. Best did not like that one.
No, he liked it. You're getting confused because
Okay,
we were all drunk that
vanilla, probably vanilla. This was a vanilla beer.
night.
This
I
landed somewhere in the
barely
middle.
tasted. Now, this where
This
it gets
is
to
where
the
it
good
starts
part.
getting good. Yeah, Golden Monkey.
Here are the top 5.
Yeah, no,
Five.
there's 6 here.
No, duels don't count.
Oh
That
yeah,
just
yeah,
got put
yeah,
there
yeah.
by accident.
Yeah. By the way,
Non-alcoholic.
She gets a pass because she was trying to find beers that she really didn't know about, so that we can genuinely try brand new
I saw
beers.
amber on the
And
bottle.
she saw amber
I
on the
thought
bottle,
it
but
was
she
an
grabbed the no duels.
Yeah, I
So for
should've
those of you
known.
listening who know
But
better,
you know what?
That's a non-alcoholic beer.
But all you listeners should know. Every time we have a 15-card match, we at least need a cooler somewhere in there.
Yeah,
So
well,
that was our cooler.
that
But
was
number
not a cooler.
5
That didn't
was
make the main card. That was a
by
pre-show.
Victory Golden Monkey.
Yeah, Golden
Then
Monkey was good.
it was.
Yeah, go ahead, luck at pronouncing that.
Hold
shit.
on.
Hacker Pusher.
Something
Original Oktoberfest. That's all you
Oktoberfest.
needed to see
Yeah.
was Oktoberfest on the bottle.
The third one was
Shiner Bach.
Shiner Bach.
This is a Spitzel.
Number 2
Number 2
is
on the list
Erdinger.
was Erdinger, and this was a very close to because
Yes, and number
one
one
was the Grimbergen Blonde, and this was
Yes.
I should post some photos of this
the
on the
Phoenix
page
itself
so they know
came
what I'm
up because it
talking
was
about.
a cool ass phoenix on the front.
Yeah. If
And
you
that's what
notice,
caught my
to
eye.
your point, the more busy the labels were, the lower down the list they were. If you notice, the really good beers had pretty basic
Kept it classy.
design.
Kept
Yeah,
it classy.
like this one in particular just looks like a basic traditional, like beer label. If you can even, I don't even know what a
But
traditional
you notice
beer label would be.
how we liked the international ones more than we liked the domestic.
Yeah, that goes to show you, right? And the domestic ones were the ones trying to be funny. Those pricks. We got off topic though. Netflix.
Oh,
I was just trying to explain the ching 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 in the back.
okay.
And
Well,
we got
now
on that
they
tangent.
know.
Now they know in detail exactly.
Exactly.
They got content, backstory, the whole
Look,
shit.
if anything, we just sounded like a Stone Cold podcast
We
because we
did.
started talking about beer for a second,
Oh hell yeah!
You know?
Swigga. What is this? Bud Light Orange. Another.
which they shit on.
We totally
but
shit on.
Yet it's getting drunk
yeah,
in my
it's getting
house.
drunk.
Okay,
It's a beer. It has to get drunk.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I'm doing it happily.
Oh my
I'm
God.
drinking it, but I'm just. It's like, you know what? A Bud Light. You see all these beers to the side here? These are the wifey material beers. This Bud Light Orange is just some piece of shit I found at the bar the other day. I'm just trying to get a nut off real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to my regular shit whenever I get a chance. Not that I do that, by the way. Your face. The Netflix characters, the Netflix Marvel shows: Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Punisher. It was very hard to utilize them in the films because they're a part of the Netflix deal, right? So it gets complicated. Could they have? Maybe. But now they're completely off of Netflix. So either they'll never be used again, or they'll end up on the Disney service, possibly recasted. Either way, do you see those characters finally making their way into the films?
Well, first of all, I don't think they're going to be recasted. I think everybody fell in love with those shows because of the people they chose to play them. Secondly,
I would choose to recast at least a few, if possible.
no, I think they're all good
All?
except
You sure? Okay, here it comes.
except Iron Fist.
There you go.
But nobody liked Iron Fist.
That's
I
not
mean,
true. There are some that did like.
Nobody liked Iron Fist. Only whack people like Iron Fist. Sorry, whack people.
Only steers and queers like Iron Fist.
So I think that they're not going to recast them. Will they be used in the movies? I don't think so. Only because Netflix always had a darker edge to them.
Yeah.
And they don't fit that nice, fluffy exterior that they've been having. Yeah, even though they fight in these Avengers movies, they're squeaky clean characters. You know what I mean? They
Plus,
make
at this
jokes.
point, they're kind of B characters.
They're-
How do you go from Captain Marvel to, I don't know, Luke Cage or something like that, or Jessica Jones?
it doesn't even matter. Plus, you needed Luke Cage when you did Civil War, and you didn't use him. You went
They had
around him.
right. They had a lot of chances.
So now there's no point in using him in particular. But I don't think they're going to use them in the films because they have a darker edge to them, unless they're going to take one of the movies into a more darker.
Well, they're gonna.
Scenario.
If this
You know what
Fox
I mean?
deal that we've gotten an update on the Fox stuff through Kevin Feige, the executive producer of the yada 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 yada, and he's updated people as far as the negotiations with the Fox deal by saying that it's progressing even better than they thought it would at this point, which is a good sign, I guess. And there's even been some hints and some rumors and some talks about that some of those Fox entities will either be mentioned or may even make a surprise appearance in Endgame. Because apparently this new phase because this was the culmination of the story, right? They're doing all this.
Yeah. Weren't they trying to do an Avengers versus X-Men?
There's definitely a want to do that. I don't know if they have the accessibility as of now to be doing that. What I do know so far that the scuttlebutt is that at least we'll get a bad guy from the Fox realm and interject. And the biggest name obviously coming up, because how could you get any bigger than Thanos? Galactus' name comes up an awful lot. The Eater of Worlds and the big purple guy that me and my son just kicked the shit out of the other day on Marvel's Avengers, the video game. But that's the scuttlebutt with that they might go to the next playing or the next player on the field is going to be that guy. But if they do that, that opens up. I mean, the cans of worms are all over the place.
But I mean, if you introduce a new villain, but yet you kill off some of the heroes, then you're gonna have to
fresh
bring
new faces.
Exactly.
Please recast that. Please do not bring X-Men's First Class into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Please don't. I don't need Jennifer Lawrence.
Nah, see?
I don't need that red-headed moron from Game of Thrones. I don't need any of those fucking fruitcakes in my Marvel universe. Maybe James McAvoy. Maybe if he's on his good behavior.
Yeah, but I can't see X-Men being recasted for a third time.
I'm hoping that it does.
I mean, they've done it to Spider-Man already, and I think people are just tired of a new Spider-Man.
Well, I think it worked.
or
The Tom
a new
Holland
person, and a new person, and
I
a new
think
person.
the only reason the Tom Holland reboot worked is because it was a different kind of Spider-Man. It was almost like the kiddie version, the original comic book version of Tom Holland, the innocent, jokey, kid-like Spider-Man that we all knew when we were all kids. They went back. Instead of progressing the character forward, they went the other way with it. They didn't bother with the Uncle Ben shit. We already know. We didn't bother with the spider bite. He's just fucking Spider-Man. So he didn't waste anybody. They didn't waste anybody's fucking time. Plus, I think the interaction with the real heroes, the Iron Mans, the Marvel Cinematic stuff, I think it eased that transition too. After this, I don't know where the fuck they go with Spider-Man. As a matter of fact, that new movie coming out, Far From Home, Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man coming out, is all over the place. The villains and everything that I've been hearing about that movie is just like, how the fuck did we get there from where we last left off? Because as of right now, he's dead. And yet, I keep hearing from Far From Home that all this amazing shit is happening. And I was like, but he's dead. So I know you're going to bring him back in Endgame, but how far are you progressing him to where you need him to be for this film? Because he's not appearing in anything else. It's Endgame and then whenever the fuck Spider-Man comes out. And Sony almost got in trouble because they almost released a trailer before they could.
I think they're doing their best to keep with the timelines, but honestly, at the end of the day, they're like, hello people, movie magic. Now let's progress. Let's just move on.
Pretend we all know
exactly.
what's going on
Just know. Yeah.
It's the reason why I couldn't understand why people cried at the end of Infinity War. Before the Infinity War came out, we already had all these confirmations for all these movies. for the ones that died. So it's like Marvel's already made it public that these movies are taking place. They've announced them as films and upcoming schedules. And they died in Infinity War. It's like, but you know he's coming back. They just announced the film. It's like Black Panther died and everyone, relax. They just finished filming the sequel as we speak right now. You know he's back. Jesus Christ. But I think it's good storytelling. We'll see how they bring all these people back.
I just don't want them to be brought back in a stupid way.
I think this is the movie where the wheels fall off. People don't like me saying that, but I'll say it now. They've laid so many golden eggs at this point. Ooh, they've laid so many golden eggs at this point that it's kind of hard to believe that they could fuck up at this point. But with all these characters, now we're throwing time travel into the fucking mix. There's been pictures released of a younger Robert Downey and an older Robert Downey and a blonde Robert Downey. And I'm just like, listen, I can't with all these different Robert Downeys. There's been clean-shaven Steve Rogers and bearded Steve Rogers and original Steve Rogers, and they're all over the place in this film. Now, I trust the Russos to make sense of it, because if they can make sense of Infinity War, then fuck it. They can make sense of anything, because that was way too many characters at once to be making any kind of story, making any kind of sense. And they did it so brilliantly using Iron Man with the newer guys, so that the newer guys got that nice little rub. You know, the fans get used. They take him for real now because they worked with Iron Man and all this different stuff. But it's so all over the place. I just want to see it unfold by now. I'm tired. I think I told you, right? I didn't even want trailers. I didn't want any trailers. The fact that we got one sucks. But if you think about it, when you look at it, they didn't really release anything in the trailer. There's really no information. Tony Stark is sad. Okay. I kind of figured he was sad. A lot of people died. They showed Steve Rogers crying. That's what the trailer is. It's 2 minutes of just people emoting about the end of the film. People died. We lost friends. We lost family. Yes. We're up to date, Steve. We were there. We saw the dust. We're good. What happens next? And then nothing. We got to see Thor sitting on a bench looking like Eminem from 8 Mile. He looked like he was about to bust down 40 bars and kill a guy.
Are you commenting how stupid this is? Or how stupid
trailer?
that was? Yeah.
The trailer? Oh, the trailer was a complete waste of time. It revealed literally nothing. But that's what I loved about it, because I didn't want a trailer in the first place. So I kind of got this feeling in my gut like they released the trailer because they had to, but then purposely went out of their way to reveal literally fucking nothing. Not even the Scott Lang thing at the end was a surprise.
Well, first of all, there are people who make money off of putting people's reactions together. Mm-hmm. So now they're doing the same thing.
That's what they did. They did a professional version of a reaction video.
And you're pissed off at that? I mean, you sit there and you watch some yourself.
I watched all of them.
You see? So don't be
I'm not pissed off about it. I'm saying I appreciated it because I didn't want a trailer in the first place. The fact that they released one kind of pissed. That's what pissed me off. When they were like, oh, we're going to release a trailer. I was like, God damn it, don't do that. Don't ruin this. But they managed to release a trailer without ruining anything. There was nothing in that video. A few Easter eggs, positioning stuff, Nebula rubbing Tony's shoulder, so now we know that they stayed together. Steve and Black Widow having a conversation that so much time has passed. Bruce looking at all the dead Avengers on the screen, and we find out that Shuri's one of either the missing or the dead. There were a few things, but no real information was released in that trailer. Even Scott Lang's reveal at the end. He made it out of the quantum realm. We knew he was making it out of the quantum realm. Oh, the big Hawkeye is now Ronin. We all knew he was going to be Ronin in this film. Like, none of it was new. So I actually like that part where it was just like, we gave you 2 minutes of fucking nothing. It's a 3-hour movie. It's listed at 3 hours. It's one of the longest films they've ever done. They gave you a 2-minute trailer of nothing. We took B footage. None of this shit's even in the film. It's like we just threw some shit together with spit glue and literal tears. We had Steve Rogers cry. I bet you they only had Chris Evans cry just for the trailer. Imagine that. Say, listen, I know you're on your way out, Chris, but could you just sit at that table and just fucking start crying for no reason? We're just going to film it real quick. 15 seconds. Stops. We'll slow the time down in the trailer. We'll get 30 seconds out of it. It was literally nothing. All the lines, too. Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He eliminated 50% of all living things. Yes, bitch. We were there. We saw snap, dust, tears. We were there. They told us nothing. Beautiful. And there's supposed to be a second trailer coming out after Captain Marvel in February. Brilliant. Give me 2 minutes more.
Not brilliant.
Of nothing.
Not brilliant, because you had this whole criticism of them doing that the last time. After Captain Marvel dropped,
Yeah, I didn't like the
week
fact they dropped
later,
them in the same week.
they
Yeah.
dropped another one, and you said that outshined her
It did.
her movie.
It did.
And now they're going to do it again.
This time they're going to do it. They're probably going to do the trailer just in time so that when you go see Captain Marvel, you'll see the new trailer or whatever. Like
They should probably
before.
drop the trailer in her movie.
In the movie, like she's just sitting there like on a bus or something.
No, I meant that trailer be one of the trailers you see in
I
like the
literally
first
just
5.
explained that it should be. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
said the same thing. Yeah, they'll release it like the week before, and then when you go to see the movie, it'll be one of the previews leading up to
It
the
should.
actual film.
It should.
There probably are, but I hope it's 2 minutes of nothing. Give me 2 minutes of fucking nothing. Nothing. Also, new thought process that I've had recently. Not only did I not want trailers, I didn't remember. I think I told you I didn't want them releasing the name of the film either. I would in the trailer. I was like, I hope it doesn't give me a title. It gave me Endgame. I was like, all right, fine. But I was hoping like I wanted it to just be like Avengers and like nothing below it all the way. And so like even when you buy the tickets, it just says Avengers on it. And then you go and it doesn't hit until the fucking screen, like in the movie. That's when it gets announced. When the movie's out, that's what announces it. That way everybody could just go on their fucking Twitter and be the first one to hashtag it. Avengers Endgame. It would have been dope. Also, like I said, new thought process. I don't want an end credit. I don't want an end credit scene. Not for this one. It's the last one. Why would you give me an end credit for the last one? It's the conclusion. There shouldn't be anything next.
It's
I
not
mean,
a
we all know
conclusion.
that there is something next,
Exactly.
but it doesn't need to be in the original film. Maybe
I
you
think
can
so.
give us a bit piece like on the DVD or something.
I bet you with your idea of the inclusion of the X-Men, all of a sudden there'll be Professor X. Something else is coming, and they'll need our help, or some crap like that.
I was joking around the other day. I said if they really want to show us that it's going in the right direction with that deal, they should break their one rule. If you're going to do an end credit, maybe that's the one rule you break. Because they are very fixated on one particular rule, which differentiates the MCU from the Fox stuff, and that is one key word: mutants. We're not allowed to say the word mutant in MCU. They say enhanced, an enhanced human. That's what they say. I know you've heard it 1,000 times in films. They can't say mutant for some reason. So I thought I don't want any end credit, but if you're going to end the movie a particular way, maybe it'd be like a military meeting or something crazy, and then they make a crack or a line about we have a new threat that we have to worry about, blah, 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 and they hit us, we have to deal with mutants. Boom, and that gives you the impression, yeah, we know what the next chapter is going to be. It would be subtle. You wouldn't have to reveal anything. You wouldn't have to pay extra for any appearances or any CGI stuff or anything crazy. Like the first Avengers when it ended with Thanos, and it was the big reveal, the big purple guy turns with that sly. You wouldn't need to do all that. Save your money. All you got to do is just say the word mutant, and everybody in the theater will ejaculate. That's it. It'll be over. Because now they know the wall is down. The bridge is down. We're crossing over. We're putting these shits together. And it's going to start getting muddy because the three entities that MCU want is X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool.
I'm sorry, but all I kept
The
thinking
Ching-
about is this episode 69, and you're talking about putting it together, crossing a bridge, and it getting muddy. I was like,
That's
ugh.
right. Get into that back door and blur the lines, bitches. Which, ironically enough, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Deadpool. So get ready for... I don't think we're going to have any more R-rated Deadpools. Which is why the Christmas one that just came out makes a lot of sense now. Once Upon a Deadpool. You're going to have this confused look on your face. I showed you the trailer. With Fred Savage taped to a bed.
Nope.
Jesus. I've showed it to you.
No, you didn't.
All right. Anywho, yes.
He's a liar, folks.
There's a PG-13 Deadpool movie.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, there is. It's with Fred Savage.
Who?
You know who the fuck Fred Savage is. Don't play yourself. Everybody on the planet knows who the fuck Fred Savage is.
But no, I didn't see it. So I was
Yeah.
either
But
a
they were
99%
testing.
sleepy rate that you, for
That
some
was
reason.
the one with the up joke?
What
When he
Up
was sitting
joke?
on the bench with these two old people, they looked like the couple from Up. He was like, "I loved your work in Up." And then the
No.
lady was like really nice to him. He goes, "Yeah, don't get too attached."
I did not see this at all. Let's do a
Anyway,
reaction video now. You show it to me and I give you my
I
reaction.
could show it to you, but I wouldn't have access to the audio thing. I'd have to pause the video or the recording to do that. You want to do that? Because I'll pause this fucker right now. Yeah, let's pause this for a second. Hold on. Much like a popular television show says all the time, winter is coming. I don't know what show that is because I'm not up on my pop culture, but I will tell you this, winter is indeed coming, and winter gets chilly. You know how you can counteract chilly? You know how you can counteract cold? Clothing. That's right, the more clothing you have on, the better a chance you have of surviving those frigid temperatures. You know what the color of this particular winter is? Gray. You didn't know that? I don't know what it really is either, but I can tell you it's gray because it fits into my agenda. And my agenda is to let you guys know that you can fight those frigid temperatures by wearing the Orsini's Uncensored Mind official t-shirt. It's a sports gray. It's very needed. It's very nice. You guys can get that by going to prowrestlingtees.com/AJOUM. We're unpaused now.
Okay, so folks,
She just saw the trailer right now.
I
Yes.
just saw the trailer for Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Now, my husband lovingly said he showed it to me.
Yes.
He's a fucking liar.
I did say it lovingly too.
And I'm saying this lovingly. He's a fucking liar because he
fucking
did
liar.
not show me that fucking nonsense. I did not see any of those clips. And oh my God, what are they doing? It was a shoot
Oh my
promo.
God! What do they do? Oh yeah. Okay,
First
yeah.
of all, it was a shoot promo.
it's a they're shoot.
Okay.
It's a shoot.
And oh my God. I mean, it still has the same feel of Deadpool. I don't see any jokiness in it yet. I mean, there's probably just gonna be like no sex or something
That
like
whole
that.
thing was joking, or not like perverted. Or
Yeah,
like,
not perverted joking, but just there's probably gonna be no sex, no tits, no ass, no fucking.
I don't
50
recall
million
many
ways.
tits and ass in the other ones.
He was fucking his girlfriend nonstop.
Okay, but she wasn't. There wasn't really a whole lot of nudity in those movies. Trust me, I was looking. You know, I can't stand that woman. Ugh. Anyway,
But,
yeah. So that's the first time you've seen it, legit. That's what you're saying to me right now.
Legit, and
Still haven't told me your reaction to it. Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? A PG-13 Deadpool? Is it possible?
I think it's gonna feel like the other Deadpools.
I thought you were going to say, I think it's going to fail.
No, I don't.
I think it's gonna do well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
I don't
do
think it's
well.
going to. I don't think it's going to be as well received as the other ones. 'Cause
I-
it's not going to be gross,
Yeah, it's
but it'll still be the
it's
usual
gonna have
quirky,
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds stuff.
yeah, it's gonna have you know what? It's gonna be joke upon joke upon joke upon joke upon joke, and a lot of those is gonna be like, oh, that's a dad joke. They
A
snuck in a
dad
couple
joke.
of those to make it PG.
Like Christmas music, though. I dare anyone to tell me this is not a Christmas movie now. After all the Die Hard conversation we've had over the last year, Bruce Willis finally coming out saying it's not a Christmas movie. Bullshit. How dare you, Bruce? How fucking dare you? We have defended you for years, and you turn your bald-headed back on us, you prick. I still love you, though. You gave me 5 great Die Hards. Actually, isn't there a 6th? No, there's 5. No, 5. Right? The 4th one was with Justin Long, and the 5th one he went to Russia for whatever reason.
Are they doing another one?
They are doing another one, but that's fine. They're also doing another Indiana Jones. So holla, holla, holla.
Okay, now this new Deadpool. Let's get back to it. First of all, I'm not gonna waste my money going to the theaters for it. It will be streamed.
We don't advocate illegal streaming. Yeah, but we're probably going to watch it at home, though.
Yeah. I'm not going to spend my money on that, first of all. Why? Because it's Marvel, but Marvel done by Fox.
Yeah. It's like the Beatles being produced by Nickelback. I mean, it's music, but it sucks. Wow, Fred. What's up, Fred? He got aggressive in this. He's usually one of those, like, jittery, punk bitch ass characters. He's kind of aggressive here. Is that a 5 o'clock shadow, by the way? He's all
I
grown
mean,
up.
there's gonna be. Well, he already said like 3 middle-aged jokes.
Yeah.
To
Also
Fred.
dropped some F bombs in there. And he went line for line with Ryan Reynolds there, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I forgot what we were talking about before we even got on the fucking Deadpool thing.
I don't know. I thought you were going to.
What's that? The pausing really fucked me up. Because
I don't know.
I forgot where we were going with that. Who gives a shit at this point, man? Brand new year. Let's continue on. Episode
Well,
69.
I mean, now if Deadpool is going PG,
That's what we're talking
why
about.
not
There you
put
go.
him
The
in
entities moving
the-
over to the MCU.
Yeah,
there you go.
Avengers
There you
movie.
go.
It
Hot
could work
damn.
now. It could work now.
Well, we don't know yet. We haven't seen the movie. We don't know if it's going to work. The trailer is funny, but we don't know if the rest of this thing is going to be a fucking
It will work.
dumpster fire.
It will work.
All right. Well, we jibber-jabbered about some of our favorite things here and there. It's time to travel on into the world of pro wrestling. Now, we're not going to talk just pro wrestling here. There's a little something I'd like to talk to my wife about because I haven't had a chance to speak to her about it. So this is the first time we're going to get a chance to do this. And we're going to do it live on the air.
Uh-oh.
Okay? We're going to have this conversation. Do you know who Louis C.K. is?
Honey, you know I don't do well with names. Fucker.
He's a comedian.
Oh, yeah. Wait, he's kind of like a redhead?
Redhead. That's Louis C.K. right there.
Yeah, when he's not a grayhead
you mean,
fellow,
you mean
he
like
was.
back in the day.
He was a
Was
redhead.
he red-haired
Yes.
in his youth?
Yes, was he a ginger?
Perhaps. I'm looking at his beard, perhaps, yeah, actually.
Okay, so
he was the
yes.
one who got caught jerking off in front of women and shit. He got in trouble or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't get Bill Cosby, though. He's still working. He's not.
Of course, because he's white.
Yeah, well, he didn't rape anyone. He just, put his kibbles and bits in front of people against their will.
What? You know
He
what?
was touching himself. He didn't touch other people. He's a freak at best. Nothing illegal. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say nothing illegal. It's kind of illegal.
Okay,
but
now what are you going to bring up with
the reason why I'm
him?
bringing it up is because Louis C.K. and Seth Rollins have a connection.
What do you mean they have a connection? What the
So
fuck you talking
Louis C.K. is back on the road. He's doing some stuff, and apparently he's catching a lot of shit for a joke he did recently at a stand-up comedy show, where supposedly, as a matter of fact, I'll read this right here. Hold on, let me read this. Louis C.K. I want to catch it at the point I already told you about the controversy. Okay. The comedian has always been one to push the limits, but audio from his new bit he's working on, which pokes fun at the Parkland shooting survivors, has blown Twitter up. Now, you remember the Parkland shooting, the kids that died over in Florida. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this article is stating that he had as a bit where he pokes fun at the Parkland shooting survivors. Okay? Some people were online, Twitter or whatever, taking it to task because that's what Twitter does now. There's no other reason to be on Twitter other than to just blindly defend shit or target it. There's no other reason. It's basically a weapon at this point. 140 characters you have to develop your offense here. And people were taking to it. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if Seth Rollins was just drunk New Year's Eve, what the case was, but apparently he heard the bit and also thought it was hilarious and just decided to...
Who?
Seth Rollins. And just decided to defend him against random nobodies on fucking Twitter and defend him. And he had some pretty good points, actually. No, come on, dog. This new leak bit is funny, just like all his other stand-up in the past. Out of curiosity, what's different this time around for you? He's always made highly offensive jokes, even going as far as to use slurs in some bits. Now, you don't really listen to Louis C.K., and there's probably some people who listen to this podcast who don't either. He has made a career over the last 20 years of being outrageously kind of funny. He says some pretty outlandish shit. Now, it's within context. If you follow the bit from the beginning...
I mean, did he George Carlin this shit? Or is he trying to be
I'm
like
not going to
outrageous?
put him on the platform of where George was, but he has a very similar style where he says the thing that we're all kind of thinking, but we're too afraid to say because we're afraid of the backlash type of deal. Where he'll say, now if you listen to the bit which we're going to do in a second. I'm going to actually play the bit. I want people to understand the context of where I'm coming from when I comment on this, and I think you should do the same. But he's essentially getting what's being written about him is exactly that. Now, where I'm going to get to the tweet where was this? Oh, here it is. So the bit itself was recorded. It wasn't on television.
So it was leaked.
Not late. Yeah, it was leaked. Yes. So apparently a fan was recording him and recorded the bit. And it came from, what's this? T-Jerk Muller, whatever. And he wrote, Louis C.K. trashing millennials in a rant laced with transphobia, going after survivors of the Parkland High School massacre. It's surprising he didn't use the term special snowflake, catering to a certain crowd, though. Ah, how the mighty have fallen. That tweet just made my fucking skin crawl because it's just so fucking condescending, right? So I'm thinking to myself, this is either going to be really bad or he's blowing it out of proportion. So I will let the squad of vote decide. It is a 2-minute clip. I'm going to air the whole clip, and then we're going to talk about it. Cool? Cool.
But I'm a little disappointed in the younger generation, honestly, because I'm 51 years old, and when I was like 18 to my 20s, I mean, we were idiots. We were getting high, doing fucking mushrooms and shit, and then older people were like, you gotta get your shit together, and we were like, yeah, fuck you! And I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, they're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. Fucking telling them, you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the fuck are you doing? It's not appropriate. Fuck you, you're a child. Why are you finger fucking each other and doing jello shots? Like, why aren't you... You should address me. They're like royalty. They tell you what to call them.
Fuck 'em.
You should address me as they, them. Because I identify as gender neutral. Oh, okay. You should address me as there. Because I identify as a location. And the location is your mother's cunt. It doesn't have to be that nasty. But it can be. I don't know, they testify in front of Congress, these kids? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You're young, you should be crazy. You should be unhinged. Not in a suit saying, I'm here to tell, fuck you. You're not interesting. Because you went to a high school where kids got shot? Why does that mean I have to listen to you? How does that make you interesting? You didn't get shot, you pushed some fat kid in the way, and then now I gotta listen to you talking?
Okay, so that's the clip there. Louis C.K. Steph's hearing that for the first time as well. So she's got fresh ears on it. This is my second time listening to it. I heard it earlier today, so I could prepare for this. And when the clip started, I think it was like, 30 seconds in, you looked over at me and you said, what did you say to me? That I said something similar or something like that? But you're like, didn't you also make fun of Parkland's?
Oh, yeah. Like I think everybody did, because everybody was like, why are you going up on here and talking about what happened? Like, that's not...
Yeah. Now
necessary.
Yeah. Now I didn't specifically make fun.
Or that they just wanted fame. This is their 5 seconds of fame. They're just milking it. You know, that's what people were talking about. And I think he's talking about the same thing. He's talking about like, why should we really listen to you? Like, there's no reason why we should be listening to you.
He's a comedian. And what comedians do is they take a fact and they stretch it all the way the fuck out until the point where it's almost absurd. It has to, like every masterful comedian will tell you, every good joke has an exaggeration to it. All right? That's what his job is to take observations and just make it a funny fucking thing. Does he actually believe that the Parkland survivor kids are fucking boring and idiots? Who the fuck knows? But the point is this, okay? He's being taken to task right now because people are saying that he's making fun of Parkland survivors. He's making fun of Parkland survivors. There's no doubt about that. But It's Louis C.K. He makes fun of everybody.
No, see, he wasn't making fun of them as being survivors.
Yeah.
He was making fun of them as children that want to be heard.
Well, he did make the joke.
Look at
Nah,
me.
he did
Something
make the
bad
joke
happened to
about-
me. You have to hear me now.
He did make a
Because
joke
he's
about
talking
pulling the fat kid in front of you and saving yourself type
yes,
deal.
but
Like, it's an exaggeration.
Yes. He tried
That's
to
the
make
exaggeration
Yes, that was a
part,
joke.
to
but,
make it funny.
But the whole bit was just talking about how young people want
Are different than the way that he was when he was a kid.
like to
right.
complain a lot or just want to be heard and and they're like, we don't want to hear you. You're way too young
Yeah.
to be heard.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. When the Parkland shooting thing happened, I don't remember what episode it was, but I brought it up here. I actually didn't talk about the shooting itself because I don't need to be sitting here discussing what happens with kids and guns. That's not really what I'm on here to do. But what I did bring up, I think it was about a week or two after the shooting, all the interviews and the media tour and the frenzy of all these children going basically on tour
Yeah, it was
to
tour.
talk about
You
how
see?
guns are bad. And I do remember saying, I don't remember the whole thing. Maybe I can go back and listen to it and it'll clarify it more. But I do recall saying that it has, my issue is not with the kids and their situation. There are survivors of a mass shooting that took place in their school. So I'm not going to take anything away from them as far as their ability to speak. They have every right to speak up and say what they have to say. On the flip side, you are a fucking child. I don't take anything you have to fucking say about anything as a matter of fact, the other way, I take everything you say about everything with a grain of fucking salt. Now, for you to sit there and tell me that guns are bad, well, I understand that. I don't need you, the 14-year-old who dodged a few bullets, to come out and say that to me. I'm well aware of that fact. So you saying that, you're 0-2 really when you think about it, because when you say things like that over and over and over, you're addressing one of two kinds of people. The people who already know guns are bad, or the people who know that guns are bad and don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, the kid who has a library full of guns in his fucking house does not give a shit that you went on NBC News and fucking told me that guns are bad. They're not going to give a shit. You're a kid. And I remember saying on the podcast, the kids are doing their end, right? They were stepping up. They were saying what they needed to do. They were being activists. They were trying to get social media behind things. They were trying to get awareness out there. They were doing all their things. The parents were my real problem because the parents are sitting there parading these kids around. They're taking them to the studio over at MSNBC. They're taking them to Fox. They're taking them to all these different places and putting them on the pedestal to be spokespeople for this issue. Why aren't you on the pedestal? Why aren't you doing the interviews? Why aren't you advocating
as a
to the
parent
politician?
of a child
Why would
who was
you
in
want
that
your
situation.
kid to be the face of school gun violence? Why would you want your kid to be that? Why aren't you saying, my son survived a school shooting, and now I'm standing here saying, I don't want this to happen in the future? Why are you letting your 14-year-old be the fucking adult in this situation?
They wanted their 5 seconds.
They wanted their 5 seconds. Well, the parents probably did for sure.
Definitely, and
The
that's what
parents did
he's
for
and
sure.
that's what his comedy bit is
I
complaining
remember
about.
saying in the episode where I spoke about it, I said, if my son survived a school shooting like that, the last place that my son is going is on the fucking news to talk about it. Because that shit, at 14 or 13, it seems harmless. But now he goes to college. He goes to get a job. He's all over the fucking YouTube. He's all over the fucking place. He's the kid who stood up to the politicians and tried to... Isn't these politicians forget shit like that? They don't forget shit like that. You want your kid on the fucking front page of the news every fucking week? That doesn't make any fucking sense. You're parading them around at that point.
But that's...
Because these people can't interview these kids without your fucking consent. It's the parents parading them fucking around.
And that whole thing with the there and the them and the they.
The identifying, I identify as this, I identify as that.
I mean, people on a normal, everyday basis make fun of that. It's not like he's the first comedian to do it. We were just making fun of somebody who was like, how dare you call me.
The GameStop guy.
The GameStop guy.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The GameStop them.
Sir, can you please not do that? I am not
It's
sir.
ma'am,
It's
sir,
ma'am.
with the deepest voice of all fucking time.
Exactly. Like, How does he know that you have a vagina or a penis between?
That's
your
why
legs?
the joke online right
doesn't
now.
know.
Did you see the joke? There's a meme going around of a person freaking out at GameStop. It's ma'am, right? Or no, it's do you have a corporate number? Remember, because they were asking if you have a corporate number, and the second box is corporate going, how may I help you, sir? And the bottom is, it's ma'am. It's like, wait a minute. You sound like a D1 defensive lineman. What the fuck are you talking
and
about?
how are they supposed to know? Like,
How the fuck would why? Because you wore what was it, pink shoes?
It was-
and,
it was
and your
pink.
hair is long. Like
Yeah.
that's not even like guys have long hair all the fucking time.
exactly. It was pointless.
You could just be a gay man with the pink shoes. I can't
for
just
real.
assume that
for
you're
real.
a
You
fucking
could just be
transgender.
gay. Exactly.
Especially you're 6'4". The Adam's apple is about the size of a fucking football,
We don't know what's between your
and
legs.
you're aggressive as shit. We'll go outside. I'll show you a sir. Yes. That's the point. If we went outside and fought, you would show me a sir. We're not going outside to slap box. I'm not going to punch you in your clit. This isn't going to happen like that. What was that picture we saw the other day where it was like, I identify as a woman. Word, get pregnant. Prove it.
For real. That's what I
Prove
said.
it.
Get pregnant.
Yeah, let's
And
see
then-
you deal with
and
the
then-
shit.
and
Everybody
then the
wants to be a
backlash.
woman until it's time to be a woman,
And
right?
then the backlash. Well, not every woman can have a child. That shouldn't define them. Okay, but then that's the first thing they're going to say when they can have a child. I don't feel like I'm complete.
Yeah, a lot of women have
Okay.
problems with the fact that they can't bear children. And the fact that you're going to take that, only a guy would take that as almost like a positive. That because this woman can't conceive a kid, that puts us on even playing field now. It's like, well, I can't have a kid. That's true because I'm a guy. But she can't either. She's broken. She's barren. She's just like me, right? They're taking it as a positive. It's a win in their column. You know, it shouldn't define, being able to be pregnant shouldn't define a woman. It doesn't define them. It's just something they can do. I can open a can of tuna. That doesn't necessarily define me as a man whom I am. I'm not the tuna can guy. That's not how that works. It's just something they can do. Biologically, you can't get pregnant. Biologically, they can get pregnant. This isn't rocket science. Okay, now I'm a respectful person. You're a respectful person. If someone walks up to me and says, this is how I identify, I'm going to do the best that I can to do that for you because that's what you're asking of me. But don't sit here and believe in your heart that I'm okay with this idea. Like, if that's what you do, that is what you do. That doesn't require me to change anything that I'm doing. You know, it would be like, what was it somebody said the other day? Identifying someone as a he or her is almost like using a name, right? That's what they were saying the other day. It's
Really?
like, yeah, it was almost like if this person's name was Sheila, but she got a stage name, or like in our case, it would be wrestling. So like a wrestling name, and now her name is Kara, right? You wouldn't have a problem going from Sheila to Kara, right? So what would be the problem just on the addressing end? Right? Like, you're not changing your beliefs. We're just changing how you address the person. You know, he, she, or whatever like that. So on that end, like, I kind of have an understanding what they're talking about. It's like an identifying thing where it's just like a greeting type deal. Because even if you know the person's name, like your best friend, like my best friend is Brandon or Paul Green. I don't know. I'm deciding now. I'm torn between the two. But either way, let's just say that it's Brandon, right? For sake of argument. Right? It's Brandon. How often do I actually say the word Brandon? You know what I mean? Not that often. It's the same thing with you. You know, your name is Stephanie, but I never call you Stephanie. I call you babe or hey you or whatever the case may be. It's just a labeling thing that you can move around. So on that end, I get it. Like they say, you know, a name call is a free thing. But for me to actually believe that because you will it to be so, you're changing your entire biology around, I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to that. I'll address you the way you wish to be addressed because I'm trying to be respectful. It's the same way for me. You know, it's I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a man. So whenever I hear things like sir or stuff like that, like before I used to get like really iffy about that because it made me feel old or whatever. But now I am old. So I'm kind of expecting it now. I expect to be addressed in this way because that's how I've earned the respect of being addressed in this way. So in that end, I will address you the way you wish to be wished. But just know that if you're going to make me do this, I will do it. But just know in my mind, I'm giggling because it's just a weird fucking thing to fucking do. And that's not the only. What was the other thing that he? There were other things that he discussed besides that. It was the transgender thing, right? The Parkland School, high school massacre. Just the overall, these kids are boring deal, and their whole. That's the joke though, because he made our generation sound like fucking idiots too. Where he was just like, yeah, we were just doing drugs and finger popping chicks and all that other stuff, which is true. We did all of those things. But I do recall my childhood being filmed. What?
I didn't do shrooms.
You did not do shrooms. No, you actually missed out on quite a bit. You didn't do any drugs. It's a good thing though. She sighs. Don't worry, I did more than enough drugs for the both of us. More than enough. The only drug I ever put the X on, is the needle stuff. Anything that required a needle. I don't
You
know.
had your limits.
Yeah, I had some self-respect. I didn't want to have. You ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have. You
with
showed
the
me
fucking with the fucking needles in the arm, and he had to lose his arm and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, all set. If I can't ingest it or inhale it, I didn't want nothing of it. One of my favorite stories of all time, the angel dust story. I told you the angel dust story, right? Bugging out in the tub.
that. Oh my goodness.
I don't think I've ever told that story on this show before.
And should you?
Absolutely. I should absolutely tell that story. Okay, just real quick. I'm going to tell the story. It's actually a very quick story. So I'll be able to get
Once
through
upon
it.
a time.
Oh, not even once upon a time. See, what had happened was, that's what this kind of story is. This is the kind of story where it opens with, see, what had happened was. Okay, this was back in my youth. Maplewood. So what was that? 18 maybe at the least. 18, 19, something like that. Hanging with a bunch of bros. A couple bucks in my pocket. Looking to get some green. Looking to get some weed, as they say. For those of you listening from foreign countries. Because remember, this show was being heard in over 16 countries. Yeah, so the weed, right? That's what we were going after. The marijuana.
The Mary Jane.
The Mary Jane. And I had a couple bucks in my pocket. Had a bro who also had a couple bucks in his pocket. We had a mutual that we used to go to for our greenery. And he was occupied. He had an ass appointment, so to speak. He was out beating cheeks, so we had to find a secondary green person. And of course, you don't just go knocking on doors asking if they got weed. So the original dude, before he went to his butt cheek sneak, he had to give us some reliables. Gave us a few phone numbers. Finally got a hold of a guy. Old head too. Which should have been a red flag. See, I was 18 at the time. I didn't know no better. Okay? I know now that's a bad sign. Do not buy weed from old people. They will fuck you up because they're old. And they've been smoking for a while. And regular weed does not get old people high. It does not. They need extra shit to get high. I didn't know that then. So we went to old man to go get some greenery, get some weed. Go knocking on the door. He invites us in. Got that big ass couch we sitting on, waiting for this dude to go get his shit. So we grab some green from the guy. Of course, when you buy from an old head, he always hits you with stories and shit. So he's over here bagging his shit up. Won't shut the fuck up. Just talking. We just nodding our head trying to do whatever because we in some stranger's house buying weed. So we buy the fucking weed. All right, we head over back to his
I wish
crib.
we can keep a weed count on how many times you
no,
say
drink
weed.
every time I say weed, or any synonym to weed. We go back to my boy's house. My boy's name was Phil. Okay, we're going to Phil's house. Gonna smoke this here weed that we just bought from this old head. And of course, we got weed now. We got paper. We got no fuego. So we, that was a tough spot.
It's called an
Got
oven.
no fuego. Nah, his oven was out. Nah, this nigga had no oven.
Because he used his last couple of bucks on the weed.
Probably. That did not help his situation at all. So we go across the street real quick. Boy's house. He's got some green as well. So we're gonna go green for green, right? So we go across the street. We roll up two for us, and he rolls up two for as well. We're gonna go 4. So we start with one of ours, smoking it up. I get a phone call from Mama Dukes. Time to head home. I got some shit to take care of, apparently. So we get through the first one. I said, listen, I got to go. So let's get through the second one real quick. So we smoked my second. We're supposed to rotate. That's how that goes. One of mine, one of his, one of mine, one of his. But I was in a rush, and I was digging when I was smoking on mine, and I didn't want to go for a second one that was going to mess up my high. So I said, let's keep the momentum. Let's let this bitch ride, baby. So we smoked both blunts.
Okay.
Between 3 people, because we had smoked him up too. That's how generous I am. I wasn't even going to smoke his weed. I have to leave. So my boy Phil and this dude are going to smoke 2 blunts without me.
Oh, damn.
That's how generous I am. Okay? I gave up my weed, and then I left, right? So I smoked those 2 blunts. I go back to my house, which is not far, maybe like 10-minute walk, right? Now, I'm high. There's no lie. Not going to lie. I'm high. So I go into the house, and I got the phone call. The reason why I had to go back is my mother at the time was working. Ooh, my mother's probably going to listen to this. Oh, well. My mother works overnights, right? She works, I think it was like 11 to 7 or some shit. So it was getting late. So the reason why I had to come back is because she had to go to work, and I got to stay with the kids. Kids already asleep. My brother and my sisters is the kids, right? So I come back to the house. She leaves to go to work. I'm in the house. I'm watching TV. I'm high as a motherfucker. I'm eating everything in the house. Snacks galore. As I'm watching the TV, I start bugging. Like, I'm getting hot. I'm getting itchy. Like, little things start happening to me. I'm getting short of breath. This is some crazy shit. Like, I'm starting to feel weird. So I'm like, you know what? My temperature's going up. I'm going to go sit in the shower for a little bit. So I go into the bathroom. I start ripping clothes off. Like, I'm not even like, there's no care in the world. I'm barely getting it off. I went from high to very uncomfortable. My temperature is all over the place. I'm rubbing myself. This is crazy. So I turn the shower on. I sit in the tub, and I cannot sit still. I'm moving around. I'm bugging. I'm getting dizzy. All kinds of shit is happening to me. I threw up in the tub. All kinds of shit is taking place.
Damn.
I am not well. So I'm thinking to
Clearly.
myself, what the fuck is happening to me right now? So I get a knock on the door.
Is it happening to them too?
I get a knock on the door, and the door scared the shit out of me. Because I have a regular wooden door, and when they hit the door, it sounded like a dungeon. Like, boom, boom, boom.
Jesus.
So I was
you're
like,
getting extra paranoid?
I didn't know what the hell was going on. All I knew was that my mother wasn't home. So that means one of the kids was trying to get into the bathroom. So I said, what the fuck do you want? And they said, do you need... I said, I think it was one of my sisters. They said, I got to use the bathroom. I said, well, I'm in the shower. And then she said, I know you've been here for a minute. Are you coming out? I said, no. I'm not coming out yet. I'm doing shit in here. She was like, but you said you in the shower. I said, yeah. She goes, we don't hear no water running. I was in the tub for 30 minutes thinking that I had a shower raining down on me, comforting me, and there was no water. I'm butt naked in a tub, spazzing, laying in a puddle of puke with no shower running. There was no water running. When I said earlier that I had turned the water on, I turned the sink on. That's the water I heard running. That's why I was under the assumption
That it was on
that
you?
I was in a shower because I heard water running. And my sister said, well, we don't hear the shower running. So I'm thinking she's just fucking stupid. Because I'm like, you don't hear water? There's water running. I can hear water running. She's like, but the shower is not on. I said, bitch, there's water running in this bathroom right now. And I got, like, the conversation was pissing me off. I got up from the tub, like, I finally felt motivated to move out of anger. And I got, like, puke on my right titty going down my stomach. I said, and I opened the door, like, I cracked it, because I don't want to show my kibbles and bits. So I cracked the door. I said, bitch, I'm in the shower. And she said, there ain't no fucking water running, god damn it. And I said, there's water right here. And I still pointed to the sink because that's where the water was. And she said, that's not a goddamn shower. And I looked at the shower head, and sure enough, there was no fucking water. I said, how long have I been in here? I really didn't know. She goes, you've been in here like 30 damn minutes. I got to go to the bathroom. I said, I've been in the bathroom 30 minutes. No shower was on. She said, are you all right? I said, I'm fine, bitch. Leave me alone. And I fucking left. I cleaned up, and I went downstairs to my room, and she got to use the bathroom finally. And I was kind of pissed off at this point because I'm like, yo, because first of all, I still didn't take no fucking shower. I had wiped the puke off of me, and I ran the tub to get the puke out of the tub, but I still didn't take no goddamn shower. So I figured to myself, I'm going to start bugging more. I better go to sleep. Like, I should probably just sleep this shit off. Now I'm thinking to myself, there was something in that weed that I smoked. Because now the argument with my sister kind of woke me up. So I went to my room, slept it off, woke up the next day. I started beating on Phil's door. Because he was like a neighbor. So I started beating on Phil's door. And Phil looked like a fucking truck hit him. I said, are you all right? He said, nigga. Did you freak out last night? I said, freak out? I was laying in a tub with puke with no shower running. I'm yelling at my sister about the fucking sink running and shit. What the fuck happened? And he said, dude, I've been bugging all night. He said, I haven't slept yet. This was I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. He was like, I haven't fucking slept. I'm still up. I said, what the fuck happened? He said, well, we smoked your 2 blunts, and then we smoked his 2 blunts, and I had weed, because remember the first 2 blunts were my weed. He also bought weed from the dude. So he had blunts from the same stash that I got blunts from. So he did twice the amount of weed from that dude that I did. And I said, what the fuck happened, though? He said, so I was at the dude's house. We must have smoked like 6 hours, and I don't know how I got home. And I got home, and I started eating everything in my house. And then my girl came over, and she was trying to do something. He said, and I started hitting it like we was having sex, and I fell asleep. I said, you fell asleep during sex? He said, I thought I did. Because remember, he said, I haven't slept yet. He said, I thought I was asleep. What happened was, he said, I started getting warm. I started getting itchy. He said, and I just blanked the fuck out. I thought I was asleep. She keeps telling me that I was awake. I finished and everything. I don't recall none of that shit. I said, are you fucking serious? You busted a nut in your girl, you don't remember? He said, not a clue. He said, I don't even remember her leaving. I don't even know if she slept over. I don't know. He said, I remember starting sex with her, and then I was just on the couch, and I was just watching TV. And that was it. I remember starting sex, and then Ren and Stimpy or some shit was on, and I was just watching TV. I don't know what happened. Large chunk of time and just missing. And I said, oh my God. I started bugging. So we got together. Again, we hooked up, and we went to dude's house. The one, the old head that we bought this shit from. Mm-hmm. Start banging on old head's door. Not there. So we go back to our original guy. The one who had the butt cheek sneak appointment. Mm-hmm. Start banging on his door. He's home. We coming in. We mad. Bulls in the china shop. Pissed off. So what the fuck is this dude doing? What did you send us? And he said, what are you talking about? Did the dude sold you weed, right? It's like, he sold us. I don't even know what the fuck he sold us. He's bugging. We told him the same shit I just said now. And he said, all right, let me see if I can get a hold of this dude and see what's going on. He called the dude up. This is back when cell phones were rare. But he happened to have one. I remember my little flip Ericsson I used to have back in the day. Prepaid, of course. And he called the dude on the phone, and he just started bugging laughing. He said, yo, that shit was laced. I said, laced with what? He said, that shit was 3/4 angel dust and maybe a quarter of weed. I said, why in the fuck would he sell us angel dust at weed prices? Because we bought, I don't know, I think I bought 60, and the other dude bought 40 or whatever. I was like, how the fuck? So I get this big ass bag of essentially mostly angel dust for like $60. I'm like, what the
What, did
fuck
you
is this
smoke the
doing?
rest of-
Hell no, I didn't sell I didn't smoke the rest of that shit. As a matter of fact, I ended up selling the rest of that shit. But I was like, I'm not smoking this shit. Fucked me up. For those of you out there who have dabbled in angel dust, God bless you, because I don't know how the fuck you do that shit. I was blitzed. I was fucked up. I'm over here fighting with my sister about running water. It was terrible. It was a terrible time. Oh boy. So yeah, you didn't miss much. You missed all that shit. You did the drinking shit. That was about it. Like when you met me, you started doing the drinking shit. You know, the Devil Springs shit. You went from never really drinking ever to going to 160 proof. That's wifey material, folks. She started taking the clear shit to the gut. I remember it was that New Year's. You took it to the staircase, right? We just stopped by to say Happy New Year's, and you just guzzled, baby.
I think I puked it right back up.
Right back up, but that's okay. The initiate, the want was there. That's what's most important. That was with me and Terrence, another old friend of mine, who we have finally proven is not dead. Or actually, I think he's not dead. She thinks I got catfished.
Because he still hasn't heard his voice.
Nah, he cut me off again.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he cut me off again.
Why?
I don't know. But he always does that. He cuts everybody off. I don't know. He's always been a loner, dude. Always been a loner. Always. All right, we're so deep into this shit by now. We got to get a little wrestling in before we end this shit up. You don't follow as much as you used to, as far as the shows. You don't really catch them anymore.
Because I have the real life thing every day in the car ride to and from.
What everything? You watch Raw in the car ride to and from?
No, wait. What were you
Talking
talking
about wrestling. I said
Oh, I
wrestling.
thought you were talking about like your podcast.
No, fuck my podcast. You don't listen to my podcast. You don't need to. I was going to say you've been listening to my podcast for 15 years now.
Exactly.
You don't need to.
I don't
fucking listen to the episodes to
No,
get
I
a gist
have
on the show
jumped off the bandwagon.
of the WWE. Yeah, don't
Of
worry, you're
WWE.
not alone on that.
I mean,
And yet she's going to WrestleMania, folks.
for real, but I just
She's not going to have a
Same
clue
shit.
about anything going on that show.
Over
Well, actually,
and
no.
over
I
again.
think that's the point, right? You don't nowadays. You don't really need to watch it week to week to get to the pay per view and be up to date on shit. Because there's people who watch it every week who have no clue how we got there to some of these matches. So who even knows? They did. I think you saw a little bit of that, right? The McMahons came on Raw, and they were saying we're gonna take the show back under our control and give you guys the wrestling the entertainment product you deserve, and we're gonna have a fresh start. They basically just rebooted the whole system. They just said, "Oh, fuck all this, and we're gonna give you all new shit," and then proceeded to give you the same old shit they always give you. But I told people, I said, it's going to happen over time. It's not going to happen. Like, they're not just going to go on Raw and go, okay, all new shit, and then, like, crown a new Universal Champion or some shit like that. Like, it's going to take time. But they haven't really, because this is more me telling you because you haven't been following. They really haven't changed much. The only thing they've really done is they've given some spotlight to the people that the internet sometimes talk about. So like Apollo Crews won a big battle royal. They're anything that's been hashtagged over the last few months. They're kind of talking about women's tag team titles. I know I think I told you about that. Women's tag team titles. And the question was, will we have a Raw tag team champion and a SmackDown tag team champion like we have, everything else? And we're finding out now they only put in an order for one belt or one set of belts. So it looks like it's going to be a traveling deal. Which makes zero sense. His whole thing. Listen, I love the idea of women's tag team titles. I love the idea of NXT call-ups. I love all that stuff. Big picture. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? The call-ups mean nothing because what has NXT done for the main roster ever? Almost literally nothing.
nothing.
And the best thing on the show right now, to be fair, if you think about it, if you look segment by segment, and I know that you have it, so this is me just analyzing. The women are the best thing on the show right now. So You have all these deficiencies, and the one thing you set out to enhance is the only good thing you have, the women's division. Now, you want to add women's tag titles, cool. But big picture, are the women's tag titles going to bump the ratings up at all?
Nope.
Probably not. Probably not. I'm happy for the ladies. It gives them something else to fight for. So now we have a reason to not have the one match per show or the 2 matches per whatever. Now with tag titles, that gives us
At least a third.
at least a third. Also, it doesn't pigeonhole women now. It's almost like if you're not competing for the championship, you don't matter. It's like we have like 8 or 9 women per roster, but we only really focus on 3 or 4 because how many women can you really have fighting for the title every other fucking day? Now with tag titles, you can have 2 or 3 really in the mix for the title, for the women's championship, and then have like literally 6 women. You can have like 3 sets of teams or whatever competing for tag titles. It's a more rounded roster. I get that. Big picture, that's not the fucking problem with the WWE. They've lost people like you. They've lost people who watch all the time, the hardcores.
I feel like they're experimenting way too much. Well, not experimenting, but I mean like they figured if you can't do it alone, maybe you can do it with somebody. Like the mixed tags.
Mixed match challenge.
Mixed match challenge with the male with the female having like this intergender matches.
I think it's hilarious that the
then-
people getting the rub from that are the guys. That's what I think is really hilarious. Those mixed match challenge are not to get the women over. They're over. They're probably more over than their partners. Carmella at some point was more over than R-Truth was. Asuka and The Miz is kind of comparable, but like even Finn Balor and Bayley, when they first put those two together, it's like who was really the anchor? Who was the more popular on that team? In all seriousness, it's like the women right now were the best thing on the show. We went to the Evolution pay-per-view. That shit felt like a takeover. That shit felt like it was awesome. It was one of the best pay-per-views I have ever been to. And
they're calling up 2 females from NXT.
They are, and the 2. Well, I'm big on Nikki. I'm still not sold on Lacey. You're big on Lacey. She's gotten a lot better.
I haven't seen Lacey in a while.
She's gotten a lot better, and the whole Marine thing. So they're really working on her. The gimmick has always been there. That was one of the things that grabbed you was the gimmick.
She was in it.
Gimmick's always been there. The work is getting better now that she's settled on a consistent finisher. Now that she knows the style she needs to work inside the ring, when she does the whole, pompy and arrogant character, all that stuff. It's coming together. But like, how much of that really is going to be effective right now? There's so many women already on the main roster who are in need of help. Charlotte, Becky, Asuka. Asuka now is being rehabilitated. We've lost Bayley. We've lost Sasha. We've lost Mickey. Mickey has almost no role at this point. She's just a player coach at this point. She's just putting over chicks left and right. That's it. That's just what her job is. Alexa Bliss was apparently being moved out of the in-ring stuff, and we're going to make her a general manager, all this kind of stuff. That all got kiboshed in this whole reboot. So now they're putting her back into the ring. And she's not a bad performer, but she's injury prone. She's 5 foot tall and 90 pounds. And when you get hit, it has negative consequences. And she's finding out now that her body's not holding up. So they were trying to find something different for her. What are women's tag team titles really going to fucking do?
Nothing.
And then these call-ups. What the fuck is the point? Heavy Machinery. Great tag team. Who are they working with? Pick a brand. Any brand. Who are they working with? The Bar? The
Nobody.
Usos? The New Day?
They're going to end up like...
Do we have tag teams on Raw anymore?
They're going to end up like the Ascension.
Man, you're never going to let them live the Ascension down, are you?
No,
You're just
because
they were so awesome in NXT.
They were, and then
So
they got
awesome.
jokey.
Yeah, they just...
It's like when you don't know what to do with them, turn them into a joke. And then once you turn them into a joke,
Comedy.
you can't bring them back.
When all else fails, comedy.
You can't
How
bring
can
them
you bring
back.
the Ascension back from comedy? You can't do it. That entrance was dope. The music was dope. Oh. God, I missed the Ascension. I missed a lot of the old school NXT guys. When Tyler Breeze went back for that one match with Ricochet, it brought back so many memories of what NXT used to be. NXT is kind of okay now. They got a lot of indie guys now that are doing their thing or whatever, but before, man.
I thought Tyler Breeze had a good run at the end at NXT, and then they
Had the
put
big
him with,
Jushin Thunder match, remember?
then they put him with Fandango, and that became whack.
It became whack. You're not a big Fashion Police fan?
No, I'm not a fashion police
No,
fan.
I'm not either. But you know, I still think the Tyler gimmick works. If they just
If they brought it back,
if they
and
put
let
the
him
machine
be-
behind the gimmick.
yeah,
Because what they were doing in NXT was beautiful with him, and they weren't doing anything crazy with him. He was just doing arrogant promos. They would do maybe a few vignettes about him being in fancy places or whatever. They don't do that shit on the main roster anymore. They keep telling everybody to come up with characters and gimmicks, but they don't accentuate the characters and the gimmicks. When's the last vignette we've had? Where it's like this person's like they started doing it with Lars. Actually, now that I think about it, they started doing it with Lars, with the whole freak thing, and they have him shaking the cage. He's coming, that type of deal. They used to do that shit all the time for guys. As a matter of fact, ever since the shakeup, they started doing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens return videos. It's like we haven't seen those shits in years. People would just everything became a surprise. Remember, the returns are always surprises now. They just show up. Like, oh my God, Kevin Owens is back. I don't need a surprise every time. Tell me he's coming so I can get excited.
they want to see if the ratings spike now.
Something tells me, yeah, like some sort of interest in the actual promo or whatever. It would be suicide not to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn return in Canada. It'd be suicide. You got to book that. That return has to be in Canada. So that pop happens and then it just travels throughout the rest of the cities. Because wrestling fans are sheep. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that they're sheep, You get a good reaction in one
What he
spot
means
and
is
it
you
just
guys
goes
are
over.
loyal followers.
Yeah, you're loyal followers amongst each other, amongst the community. So what happens is like they go to Canada, they get the big pop, right? That leads the other crowds to go, oh, they must be great. That place went nuts when those guys came out, and then they follow suit. That's usually how that happens. That's why a lot of people debut in certain cities. AJ debuting in Orlando, Florida was not a fucking mistake. At all. That reaction took place and the building almost shook to the ground. They were like, oh, we have a star in our hands. Yeah, so we can sit here and bitch about Raw and SmackDown all day, but I wanted to play a quick game with you. A quick game, and we're going to play a little game called Which One Hurts the Most? We're going to play a game of which one hurts the most. And I'm saying game, but in the end, it's really just going to be a discussion. So I didn't do a best of 2018 because we were moving and I started doing research for it. Because I did one last year. Remember, we did the whole best of 2017 or whatever. So I was doing it again this year, and I started realizing that, websites, podcasts, audio, video, everyone had a best of 2018. And as I stated, as I stated last week, I don't like fucking used pussy. I need fresh, pristine, at best maybe a few uses. That's why we clicked so early on, because you were fresh, 18. I got you right out the bag there. So that worked. I don't do used pussy. I need fresh, pristine pussy, and then I claim that to be my own. So I didn't do a best of 2018, but there is something that happened throughout the year in 2018 that I would like to bring up now, and I will bring the case to you and ask you the question: which one hurts the most? This category is released superstars in the WWE of 2018. It's a very short list, so you won't have to go too deep into it. But performers that were released in 2018, some notables. There's obviously been a lot more NXT guys getting cut, and yada, yada, yada. Rich Swann was released this year after a physical altercation with his girlfriend that went nowhere. She didn't press a single charge. Why would she? Because she was being crazy and he was being crazy, and there was just two young people being fucking crazy in the middle of the street in Florida. But he was a big part of the Cruiserweight division when it started, and all of a sudden just gone. Now he's doing big things in Impact. Enzo Amore Now, people will say he was fired because of the rape case. Bullshit. I keep telling people all the time. It was just a reason to do it. They were trying to get rid of him. They were waiting for his ass to stumble, and he did, and he gave him the reason, and now he's gone. Big Cass. We already went through that here on the show, and personally I spoke to you, the whole Carmella deal, and just being an overall ass. Abby Lath, or Kimberly, she was released this year. Nobody really knows exactly why. There's a few assumptions, the weight thing, or just overall having a hard time adjusting to the style, or whatever the case may be. James Ellsworth, but we all know where that headed. Neville. Now, Neville's situation was just a creative deal. After the situation where he got shafted on the WrestleMania payday, he was just sour on the whole deal. And then he basically made the Cruiserweight belt and then had to do all these jobs to Enzo for no reason. And he stayed home, and now he's the Dragon Gate World Champion. And this just happened about 2 weeks ago. I don't really think this is an important one, but out of respect, they'll bring it up because it did just recently happen. The guy's name is Nick Miller in NXT, one half of the Mighty, one half of the Mighty Don't Kneel, famous tag team in the Indies. His wife had a daughter. He's from Australia. And his wife I don't say daughter, I don't know what the gender is, but his wife just had a baby, and I don't know if there was complications or what the situation was at home, but the kid came, and all of a sudden, he can't leave Australia. So he spoke to management, and they gave him his release. So he's no longer in the WWE. His partner still is, and they're looking to keep the team together. They're just going to replace that guy with another guy. But he is also released. So the list again, Rich Swann, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Abby Lath, James Ellsworth, Neville, and Nick Miller. Now the game is, which one hurts the most? Which one will they be missing here? Which one was the wrong termination? Which is the one of all of these where you sit there and you say, don't do that. Where you sit there and you say, man, that's a big loss for the WWE. I say again, Rich Swann, Enzo Amore. Okay.
Say it again. My goodness. Let me think. That's not good thinking music.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's rushing music.
You should tell these people that because they play it all the time. There is pressure in that song, right? There's a lot of pressure in that song.
Well, first of all, I think it hurts Abby Lath the most. I just feel bad for her, just because.
Okay, because the question is geared toward the WWE. Which release hurts the WWE?
Hurts the WWE the most.
Which is the one release where they should probably reconsider because that was a bad deal there. They're gonna need this person,
Neville?
or they would probably Neville. Yeah.
Well, only because he was the only person that didn't get dropped for negative reasons.
That's not entirely true. Abby Lath, I think is a good argument for this case as well because I think Abby could have been a really big star for them on the women's end, especially since
but we didn't get enough time to miss her. We barely saw her.
No, and I think I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they really had any intentions of really doing anything with her. I know she had a lot of fanfare coming in, and she had a nice display for herself with the Mae Young Classic.
I think she'll
and
be
I
in
think
next
they
year's
hired
Mae
her
Young Classic,
because
and that's it.
I don't know if she's going to be. Wait, I don't even know if they're going to do another Mae Young Classic.
They will.
What would be the point?
Well, they're calling up everybody from NXT. You still need new people for NXT.
They have access to so many right now who's in NXT. And then NXT UK is pretty much loaded with chicks. But I think Abby's different from all of them. That's why I think, I know on paper people will say Neville, obviously, because he's in great shape, he's a great performer, he could have worked with anybody. But I really... On the women's end, like I said before, I think the women right now are the best thing on the show. And I think she could have been a standout. I don't know if she had an issue with the style, or I know that people are saying that her weight was also an issue, but I don't see how...
What do you mean her weight?
She always kind of had, she's pear-shaped. We've worked with Kimberly before, remember? She was always kind of bottom-heavy. That was always kind of her frame. She was never fat, though. And she didn't wrestle like a big girl, She's short. So she always did the high flies. I don't know. I still think WWE kind of got her. She doesn't have the prototypical look. And for the women who don't have that look, they usually look for something exceptional. And I don't know if her style they looked at and said, yeah, she's exceptional, because Abby Lath is a fantastic wrestler, and she sells a lot. You know, she's kind of an underdog character, where she always gets beats up a lot. The offense is not really, there's nothing really flashy about it. So for her to not have the look and then not have anything that's extraordinary, like, you know, you look at Ember Moon, who probably has a very similar body
What is she
frame.
doing now?
She's back on the Indies. She's back on the Indies, winning championships all over the place. She's building her brand back up. She's back to being Kimberly. But like her and Ember Moon, I put them almost in the same like body frame wise. But Ember has such a unique offense that is very marketable. She's got that stunner from the top. There's a lot of different things that she does that Abby doesn't really do. She just kind of wrestles, which is not bad, but for the WWE,
She kind of looks suburban.
a little bit. Talking about Abby Lath, right? She's the Kimberly. Yeah, she's like on paper. You look at this list and you go, "Man, Neville's
And who
probably
knows
the
what
one
her
that hurts."
promos were like? I mean, honestly,
They're all right. They're
I
fiery,
kinda-
but there's not a lot of content.
I kind of saw a promo or two, and they weren't tens.
She shot promos with me.
They weren't tens.
They were not intense, or they were intense.
They were.
They were intense.
not
Yeah. Oh no, we're not.
tens.
Oh, they were not tens. Oh,
Yes.
not the best promo in the world.
Yeah, they weren't the best promos in the world.
Not a lot of
so,
content. That's why.
I mean,
Like,
maybe they just didn't like
she
her
does
mouth.
quote unquote wrestling promos, you know, where it's like it's a finger and you start like, oh, I'm gonna show her and I'm the best and
I don't think she had the mouth.
I think she had the mouth. Hey, maybe that was her issue. Because a lot of other chicks managed, a lot of untalented chicks managed to get through the gap, right? They got to figure out how to do something. But yeah, of that list, like me, when I was going through this list, I was like, maybe Abby Lath, because I know Neville's exceptional. And because of his circumstance, you would think, man, WWE should probably let that shit slide. But I think they really dropped the ball with Abby, to be honest with you.
That's
I think
it.
Kimberly, me, myself. There's been talk on Raw and SmackDown, again, you don't watch it very often, of trying to change up some of the old routines. There was a comment made by Shane McMahon, not this week, but last week, where I forget which champion it was. There was some champion that lost the title, and they said, well, we get a rematch. And Shane said, well, you know, that whole automatic rematch clause that we have for our champion, it's a little passe. It's a little cavemanish, little archaic. We're going to do something else.
First of all, I can't believe he's even saying that. And matter of fact, no, I know the reason why he's saying it, because they haven't done it in a while.
Right,
There's
yes.
people coming up saying, I still haven't had my rematch. I haven't had
Finn
my
Balor
rematch.
never
I
had
haven't
his
had my
rematch,
rematch.
yeah.
There's tons of people who haven't had their rematches. That's why they're saying, oh, that's so passe. Let's
I
move
think
on from that.
because they've been called out on their bullshit for so long about not following through with that, especially since Brock Lesnar, because there's another rule that you have to defend your championship every 30 days. Apparently, they've wiped their ass with that for years. So I think now they're kind of backing off of the automatic thing, where they're just like, we might as well just stop lying about it and just make it a deal. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is changing old routines. Let's not stop there, right? So what are the things that they come up with as far as rules, automatic rematches? We just discussed that. Do you think a champion who loses his championship should automatically be granted a rematch to that championship? Okay, he's the champion. He lost. I have an automatic rematch clause. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be the next pay-per-view. Some of these guys say, "Oh, I want it tonight on Raw," or whatever the case may be. The fact that because they're a former champion means that they automatically are the number one contender right after. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Because they've been doing it for years.
I think it's a good idea.
You think it's a good idea?
I just don't think that it should always be one-on-one. I'm tired of them always thinking I should get a one-on-one shot.
I just don't need it lasting for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like continuous shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. I think that's what killed AJ and Shinsuke. It was like the 4th pay-per-view and the 5th pay-per-view, and now we're in Saudi Arabia doing it, and now I'm like, stop. I think AJ had a run for a year, and he faced 6 competitors maybe total in a year for the championship, because after that it was Joe at SummerSlam, and then this pay-per-view and that pay-per-view, and I'm like, why? Now we're giving rematches to people who aren't even champions, because Shinsuke was never champion. we just kept going pay per view after pay per view after pay per view. So automatic rematches. I'm actually good with it. I'm ruined and I'm sullied by the idea that Ring of Honor doesn't do it, and New Japan doesn't really do it. There's a lot of competitors now. What happens is you lose your championship. I don't say go back to the back of the line, but you've got to defeat some high quality opponents to get back into it. I love the idea of a champion. Okay, you lost championship, so as a former champion, you should be skilled enough to get back into that title, and on your own, you should need an automatic rematch clause, and it freshens it up for the champion. Because now, okay, I just won the belt like a New Japan, like I beat Okada for the belt, but Okada won't see that championship match. He now has to go through chaos and beat these guys. I gotta fight Tanahashi, and then because Ring of Honor does that. Remember, like you win the Ring of Honor World Title, you don't. The next pay per view is not the rematch. You may not see that match again for another 6 months. Because there was already a built-in. That's what I liked about Ring of Honor, because there's like an actual contenders list. So what happens now is the guy loses the belt, and there was already a number one contender waiting in the wings. So it's like Christopher Daniels loses the belt, but Marty Scurll is next in line. So Daniels can't get another rematch because Marty's next. And now he has to beat this guy so he can be in contention. I love that. So I don't need the rematches anymore. Same thing with Royal Rumble winner gets the main event at WrestleMania. Why?
I like that. It's just a
But
stipulation.
they haven't been doing it. Royal Rumble winners for the last few years have not been last.
Have not been what?
Last. They're not last. The Royal Rumble winners have not been last for forever now. I can't even actually. Batista, WrestleMania 30, maybe, was like the last time, and even before that, like you have to look past that, because what ends up happening is the Royal Rumble wins. The Royal Rumble winner gets a title match at WrestleMania, but very rarely is that match last.
Oh, you're talking about it being last? Or
Yeah,
no, I
they've
just thought
actually
you-
backtracked on that. Before they used to say, "Oh, they're going to be the main event of WrestleMania." Now, when they promote the Royal Rumble, they say the Royal Rumble winner gets a title match at WrestleMania in a main event match. A main event, meaning it'll be a high-profile matchup. We could place it anywhere. But before, it used to be where the Royal Rumble winner would face a champion and would close the show. It doesn't happen like that anymore.
No, I don't think they should close the show. But
I don't think
still
they have to. I think if the
yeah.
matchup warrants it, then it warrants it. But I don't think it should be automatic.
No, it shouldn't be
to
automatic.
me, getting the title
They
shot at
should-
WrestleMania should be the prize right there.
Yeah,
You're
that's
getting
it.
the
That's
title
it.
match.
Exactly.
Shouldn't matter to you if the match is 1 or 10. Like, I'm getting the title match. I'm going to get a shot at the title at WrestleMania. That's huge. One other one that drives me crazy, stipulations getting their own pay-per-view names. TLC, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber. Why are we doing... We don't need to do that. It's not helping.
Well, first of all, they haven't done a new one.
No, they haven't.
Those are the only ones
No, they're
that
old.
they've turned into.
They're old. They've
Yeah.
been doing this for forever.
I
And
know.
it doesn't help their numbers at all. And before that, like for instance, like Hell in a Cell, pay-per-view, you can get like 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one show. Holy shit. How irrelevant is the Hell in a Cell match at this point? TLCs too. They've destroyed the TLC. Now it's not just like the pay-per-view is going to be headlined by a TLC match. Now you have TLC matches, table matches, ladder matches, fucking chair matches. They've wiped their ass with the entire concept of the TLC match. They have completely. I made the comparison the other day. You remember the scene in the Infinity War with Nebula, when she was like in pieces but floating in? That's what TLC is right now. It's just fragmented in space. It's 8 matches stretched into one match, stretched into like 8 different variations, and then one cooler with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose where they shit the bed. But other than that, I don't get it.
I can see why they did it, because they don't want to have,
Originally.
like every pay per view have one TLC match in it. They'd rather have all of them in one.
At least they didn't go the TNA route and do the all cage pay per view, where the whole pay per view was in cage.
I just don't like sometimes their placement of those particular matches, because it's done right before high profile pay per views.
Normally, yeah, like TLC is right before the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
Or like Hell in a Cell is like right after SummerSlam.
And I mean, the probability
Extreme
of somebody getting
Rules.
hurt increases
Yeah, right before a big show, like Elimination Chamber happening
then
before
it,
WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it
How
changes
fucking
the whole
retarded
format.
is that?
Yeah, and then you have to say, well, the card's
It's
subject
like,
to
well, before we go to
change
the
and-
biggest show of the year, let's put them in the most dangerous situation we possibly can, so we can endanger our high-profile matches. Speaking of which matches, are you a fan of in any capacity of intergender matches?
Of course, I'm a fan of intergender
When women
matches.
fight men one-on-one. One chick, one dude in a wrestling match.
One chick, one dude.
Yeah, one chick versus one dude. 69. No. It's just performing. You
Well,
think
no,
that makes
see-
sense to you?
Well, remember when we did our flip coin wrestling, I was a big fan of the intergender, but that's just all in my mind.
Right.
But if I had to physically script it, I would be careful with them. I just can't say that I agree with it all the time.
But when you see shows
But
where like the whole card is
I can't see
intergender,
like Braun Strowman against Alexa Bliss. Like that's crazy.
it's also an extreme. You pick the biggest guy and the smallest
Exactly,
chick.
but I'm just
If
saying.
you did Nia Jax versus Mustafa Ali, it'd be a
but
different
there,
scenario.
but there are little chicks out there in reality.
We're all little chicks.
Listen. In reality, not Nia Jax, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
it's an extreme. You pick the
But
one
no.
big girl,
But I'm just saying there are chicks out
the
there in
face breaker.
Listen, there are chicks out there in reality who are small and will talk a lot of shit to people who are 2-3 times their size.
But can they fuck them
Okay?
up? Is my
And
point.
they talk shit and they talk shit and they talk shit. But the moment they get those hands, okay, all of a sudden they want help. You know what I mean? I don't mind it if the two people,
Go ahead.
if the two people, was it? Yeah, so I mean, like, I just think that it needs to be carefully discussed. Because again, like, as soon as a girl gets those hands, they want to cry, oh, that's not fair. I mean, they're 3 times my size. It wasn't right. I just think that the two people need to actually agree with each other. And then the guy can't, like, stand back like, nah, I mean, I signed the contract, me and you versus each other. But yet I'm not gonna hit you.
What you're
And it shouldn't
describing-
start off with the girl like trying to antagonize him into a fight that was already scheduled.
Right, but what
You
you're
know what I mean?
describing is the perfect world. You're trying to
So-
make sense of the situation. I'm
It
telling
should
you,
actually happen.
I'm telling
Like
you
for
that
example,
there's-
if it was a female manager with the guy and she threw hands at somebody else, he shouldn't just look at her and she backs away. Fuck, if she's jumping on top of you, fucking give her a back elbow to get the fuck off of you. That is a natural reaction to have. Instead of gently placing her down, you know what I mean, or falling to your knees and then she gets off of you, you know what I mean? Actually shove the bitch. You know what I mean?
shove the bitch.
Like that is just a natural reaction. Like let those natural reactions actually happen. Now, am I going to say if she's jumping on top of you, you swing her to the front and you grab her by the throat and you hold her up? No, that wouldn't naturally happen. But I mean, those natural instincts, let them kick in when it makes sense.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to explain. You're creating the perfect scenario. What I'm telling you is there's companies out here that are booking 8-match cards of guy versus girl. No backstory, no rhyme or reason, just this chick versus this guy.
But again, it probably is two people who are of similar height,
Style.
weight, style, and it's probably cruiserweight
It
guys
isn't.
and not.
No, it isn't. I'm talking
big
about
guys.
90-pound girls versus Sammy Callahan. Like that type of shit.
Sammy Callahan?
Yeah, Sammy Callahan, the death machine, dude. The one who put the fucking wrench in my neck.
He was still small, dude.
He's a grown fucking man.
I took a picture next to that guy. He was my
Yeah.
height. Get the fuck out of here.
So what does
okay?
that mean? That means you can beat his ass then? You're the same height? That's how that works?
No, but I'm just saying, I could see that happening. But again,
You can see a
I'm
fight
not
between
gonna
a
see.
90-pound girl and Sammy Callahan in a fight.
I look.
Yours is your belief is completely
and you're saying 90-pound girl.
I'm giving an example of an extreme situation because I saw that card and I went, that's fucking nuts. She's
probably
tiny girl.
She's probably 115, and he's probably less than you think. Because remember, your boy came over and he said he was 180 pounds, and I was like, damn, I'm 176. And I was like, I'm not that far from you, but clearly.
Wait, who's this?
We don't need to talk names, but he's taller. You know what I mean? And I'm shorter.
No free pub.
So who would think that he weighs about the same as me? It all depends on where you carry that weight. Okay? A girl could have 20-pound boobs and be carrying all the weight there.
20-pound
you know?
boobs. Like 20 cumulatively or
you know
like
what I mean? I'm just
individually.
Saying,
We're talking about a 40-pound chest.
A lot. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, you never know based on somebody's size how much they weigh. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it can be done, but it just has to be done right.
All right, last one. Iron Man matches. There was a complaint made by somebody the other day that I thought was hilarious. He is confused as to why we don't have matches that go 60 minutes anymore. Here in America. Obviously, elsewhere, it's still a big thing. Japan.
We had one last year. We had one recently within the last 6 months.
60 minutes? Who?
Wasn't last year Sasha and Bailey?
30 minutes.
That was 30?
So was the recent one between Rollins and Ziggler. There was a gauntlet that happened a while ago that was an hour.
Somebody went.
60 minutes, not on WWE television.
Yes, and you were even telling me that they had been on for a while, even through commercials.
45 minutes. It wasn't 60 minutes.
All right, they got close, but that's the reason why. There's lots of commercials. Nobody's gonna sit through a 3-hour show and only get like 3 matches.
The guy was talking about either at live events or house shows or even on pay-per-view, where it's just like I don't. Why aren't guys going 60 minutes anymore? Do you think that works now?
Because the fans don't want to watch one match for 60 minutes.
Thank you.
It's the fans dictating this.
I don't need to see.
He's just an exceptional fan with ideas and
thoughts. He's
an
old school fan, probably is what it was. He grew up on the days of Flair and Steamboat having time limit draws, or the old Barry Windham and Flair matches. 60 minutes. It's like, come on, man, the territories are gone, baby. They're gone. All right, we're going to get ready to go off the air here. And before we do, just really briefly, I need you to tell the squad of O and tell the fans out there how wonderful a lover I am for episode 69. How great am I at sex?
Do you really want me to answer this question?
I don't really give a shit. It's going to happen anyway. You're going to fuck me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So why do they need to hear it?
Wow, fair enough, I guess. I guess we'll leave it up to mystery.
He's a wonderful lover, folks.
I'm selfless. I'm a giver.
Unlike me, apparently I'm selfish.
Why? Who said that you were? I didn't say you were. I'm just talking about myself. You're more than welcome to boost your ego.
He wants to pat himself on the back.
That's right.
He wants to pat.
Without dislocating my shoulder. Mm-hmm. It's all going to stay in
I'll
place.
slap your ass.
There you go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And, of course, thank you for enjoying. This is episode 69. Hey, everybody. This is your main man, AJ Orsini, and I am your host of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. And that's the show where I dig into this old brain here, this old cerebellum, and pull out the most unadulterated, uncensored thought. I'm just about whatever's rolling around in here, man. We're talking about TV shows, music, comic books, games, movies, all forms of entertainment, and, of course, my primary field of expertise, professional wrestling. If you're down for all that, down for interviews with up-and-coming talent, down for roundtable discussions, down for all that stuff, head over to ajoum.podbean.com every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Got a problem with Podbean? No problem with me. You can check me out on all kinds of platforms. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio app, Listen Notes, Castbox.fm, and now, starting right now, you can catch me on iHeartRadio. 15 countries, thousands of downloads. Join the squad of O today.
At my house, listen to my daddy's song. Orsini is a line.